Excellent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to another scene set in the Chronicles of Darkness Vampire Requiem, Requiem for London. Tonight, we once again set our scene at the Golden Bluff Hotel, the domain of Cora's delightful sire, Dame Corbet, who has been called upon to give a report of her meeting with the Sanctified and to receive further instruction from her most delightful and splendid of sires. And this time, Cora has even been given the courtesy of a voluntary summons.
Oh, wow. I feel so special.
So you're not being supernaturally cool, but you're still expected to show up.
Of course I'm showing up. She terrifies me. I mean, I love her.
I mean, both of these things can be true and probably are true.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, basically. So I'll show up and be all dressed up nicely as expected this time. Because I'm not being summoned in a rush.
Then you make your way back into the hotel, back up to the penthouse suite. Up there is your sire, beautifully dressed as she always is, and with a separate group of mortals this time. Although less of them.
Oh. I see.
Nobody that you recognize. Certainly not the vessels that you fed from before.
Totally new group. Oh, gotcha. So as soon as Cora sees her sire, she'll just dip into a deep curtsy. All the appropriate, fanfare and proper Invictus greetings and the like.
Miss Cora, please take a seat.
She'll do so.
She's sitting at a small round table that overlooks a large series of window panes. They give a rather beautiful view of the city of London.
Oh, nice.
See everything from
I'll do my best.
From the sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll do my best to not gawk at the pretty.
It's everything from the stock exchange to the gherkin. It's quite a sight. She does bid you a seat.
I'll definitely take it. Clasping my hands primly over my skirts.
She gauges you. She's just kind of like a quick empathy check, and then if she succeeds, I'll ask you how you're feeling.
Fairly well. I managed to settle in a little bit more, I think. Met some of the new people, including the interesting people at the church that you mentioned.
So I had
I hope that my discussions were fruitful.
They were. They were very productive.
I was happy to hear that the people there were open to listening.
Well, I'm not going to send you to those who are uninterested in listening to you. I believe that would end rather poorly for you if I did.
This is true. And I wouldn't expect that would be the case. But I did have some trepidation about meeting them, considering how little I know about the faith. Though that may have helped me in the end, I think. The willingness to want to learn.
It is one among many reasons I sent you in particular.
She just kind of smiles. Wise as always, Lady Colbert.
She's made an empathy check on you. How's Cora actually feeling right now?
Cora's actually feeling pretty calm now. A little bit anxious because of all the war going on, but no bad feelings directed anywhere right now.
Okay.
I mean, of course, nervous about fucking it up in front of her sire, though. She wants to impress her sire.
Excellent. Her smile remains fairly muted. But she takes a drink from a fine-looking champagne glass that smells distinctly of vitae. Wow. Your message has been received well, and I have received word it has been received by those who have God's ear.
I'm glad to hear it.
But now I'm afraid I require you to speak to those affiliated with other gods, if you understand my meaning.
I do believe I understand. I've seen them in other domains, but I haven't met any here yet.
You will find them to be quite upfront. But outside of that, they're quite difficult to categorize. They are a very diverse bunch. I believe, much like us, they're undergoing their own period of flux right now. Their own state of their own transition of power.
So everything is up in the air for them. I imagine they're less organized about it than we are.
Yes, but they do tend to be swifter in bringing about the transition.
Do you wish me to speak with them while the transition is still happening?
I'm afraid, given the circumstances, you'll have little choice.
I see. Well, I'll try to do it as soon as possible. What are our goals? what do we aim to accomplish with my discussion with them?
First, you will need to identify those worth speaking to. We are less informed on the workings of the Crone as opposed to the Sanctified.
Truth be told, I feel like I know the least about the Crone and the Ordo. Most of my experience previously was with the Sanctified and the Carthians.
They are... They are so scattered and so violent right now, it is difficult to determine who or what is really in charge. Even prior to this conflict, it was difficult to ascertain who really led them. They are divided in a very sectarian yet awkward fashion. Not like us, not organized, really.
Do you have an idea where I should start? Like, I know that there's the church I could go to for the Sanctified. Is there any member that seems like I could get their ear? Do we know any intel on them?
There are... There is the cult of Valerius, and then there is... Well, I hear they've undergone a rebranding.
A rebranding of what?
They used to be called the Following of Andraste, but I believe now they're going by the name of Away and Kin.
Pardon? The what now? Wayne King?
Way and Kin. It is Welsh.
Oh. A language I don't speak, but understand has a lot of consonants in it.
Supposedly they are so-called Lords of the Dark to some.
Now, do you want me to have a discussion to bring them over to our side, or do you want me to infiltrate and find more information?
I would perhaps not attempt to infiltrate a Crone cult. They are quite compelling.
So, in infiltrating a Crone cult, I might go too deep and never return. Is that what might happen? If so, then it would not be wise to infiltrate at all.
Faith can cause in us some very unpredictable actions. would not recommend. However, I do wish to understand their intent and what it is that they desire, so that we may accommodate them.
I see. I can do that.
I suppose we will see if you can.
Well, I'll do my best to fulfill the tasks you put before me, my lady.
If you could communicate their leadership, if you discover it, that the Invictus, that House Valerius wishes to set aside this conflict and usher them into a better, more peaceful age. Like what you have done with the Sanctified.
I was taking notes. I will impart that message, and hopefully they too will listen.
If they do not, well, I suppose you all know.
And I can send a report based off their dispositions if I fear that it is negative.
If it is negative, you will know, but at that I will be receiving a report.
If it's negative, well, I suppose you're right. Hopefully I won't rouse any tempers in doing so. Baby Callisti is worried. Baby Callisti don't want to die.
Well, we'll see what happens to Baby Callisti. Adult Callisti, Mammy Callisti, looks back over the vista. Gazes almost lazily at it before turning back to you. You have your assignment.
Thank you, my lady. Will there be anything else today?
Only report to me what you discover of the Crone.
I can do that. You'll be hearing from me as soon as I make contact. And she'll give another curtsy.
She acknowledges you with a nod.
And I'll take my leave.
She finishes off her champagne glass as you leave.
Oh boy.
And she didn't even comment on your dress.
I'm hoping that it meant it was satisfactory this time. Internal screaming intensifies.
Well, I suppose you all know when you meet your friends and see what they think of you.
Oh boy.
Because if they don't find you satisfactory, you will know that she certainly hasn't.
That's fair. That's really fair. Okay.
I've been told that you can find Crone activity in Hackney, but evidence of her leadership is scarce. Now, you don't have cacophony savvy, but you do have contacts, and it's backed up by the information network merit.
Yes.
So I'm going to briefly look up what that actually does and see if it can help you in any way.
That'd be nice.
Okay. So, if you wish, you can make me a wit streetwise roll.
Okay. Good. That thing
you
I
will be
taught.
treated as having a specialty for your check because of your information network merit.
Okay.
What you will have learned through your network is that in Hackney there have been several major financial transactions taking place over the last couple of months. The first is the acquisition of the Roman baths there. Basically a glorified spa in the style of the Romans. But lauded for its actual authenticity and not fake tackiness that a lot of these locations tend to have. The other is a club. Most of the clubs have closed recently over the past month or so. They've been forced to shut. Rampant crime and violence, rioting has made business all but untenable in tandem with an increased police presence. And so a lot of clubs have been altering their schedules or not open at all. Some have even gone out of business. However, there has been one that has persisted. One that has remained open is currently facing a minor scandal within the hospitality industry. It's being challenged by environmental basically trading inspectors over health and safety issues. But it still remains open. It's been one of the few clubs that has remained open in spite of the poor environment for business. It's also known to maintain a quite heavy security profile, and the security profile has only increased in the past few weeks.
Well, that seems interesting.
You've also heard rumors surrounding the ownership of both institutions. They are not known to be public figures. Would you like to make? Have you already made the streetwise check?
Oh yeah, I did. I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Then I'll give you a bit of information about the bus. I'll give you a bit of information about the club. So the bus used to be under completely separate ownership, which is something you already know.
Mm-hmm.
But more local information and more local rumors inform me that they have quite a large amount of nighttime business and are open all the way up until midnight, although not everybody leaves past that point, and a lot of them don't appear to be staff. There's also very large gatherings that take place within the baths as well. The club is perhaps a bit more interesting. Its owner is a bit more of a public face than the owner of the baths. Her name is Rosa Anson. But recently there have been rumors circulating around the club about a strange, pale-looking woman with gold white hair wandering around the neighborhood in an outdated, torn black dress. She's been seen multiple times now, although she hasn't been seen in the past week or two. But it's become something of a local ghost story.
Ooh, I love ghost stories. So, one thing I'd like to do before investigating further is go home and change. Because Cora tries to fit in with wherever she's going. So if it's more of a goth club, she'll dress up more like that, etc., etc.
I think it's a fairly standard club. And I don't think it has any particular theme.
Legit.
So you can dress fairly casual and nondescript.
Good.
You don't have to try too hard. Yes, you head on down to this club. It's certainly not the biggest club in the city, but it's of a fairly respectable size. When you reach it, nothing appears too out of place.
So far, it looks like a normal club then.
Nothing nothing that looks too conspicuous. Certainly no weird ghost ladies.
Disappointing.
But do you decide to get yourself a drink or something? Or
yeah, I'll get a drink. Try to blend in.
Okay. All right. Do you like to roll me a wits plus composure roll?
I can do that. Man, I need to raise my wits is what I'm feeling. Wits. Composure. And my composure. Jeez, okay.
Well, here we go.
2 successes.
2 successes, okay. You approach the bar and you begin discussing, or you have a, you talk to the bartender, he gets you a drink. There are a couple of things you notice. One is that he seems to have eyes on you in particular while you're in the bar. He keeps an eye on your drink. He's never really more than a couple meters away from you.
Oh, I don't like that. I'll keep an eye on my drink. And this guy.
There are some regulars that go to referring him as Beck. I'll just call him Jay.
That's even shadier.
But he seems to be quite good-natured. Very good with the patrons. Very chill, cool, relaxed.
She'll just smile at him. When next time she sees him staring.
Yeah. You're not the only kindred in this club, although there aren't many. It appears the only other two that are here are out hunting. You also get the feeling that Mr. Beck's eyes are not the only eyes that are on you. You get the sensation that there are eyes piercing into your back.
Are the other kindred being watched as well, or does it just seem to be me?
Some members of security have their eye on them, but it's fairly insubstantial. Perhaps they're regulars. Perhaps they're a known quantity. It should be noted that Mr. Beck is nothing more than an ordinary immortal, but the way he's looking at you and the way he's checking your drink seems to hint to you that he's aware of your true nature.
So I'll just kind of sidle up to him finally and be like, "Are you a regular here?"
What do you mean? I work the bar.
It's
difficult to be a regular, right?
I mean, I guess that makes you the most regular then, right?
Pretty much.
This is my first time here, so just kind of trying to get the lay of the place.
Yeah, well, we're not anything too fancy. You got your dance floor over there, you got a club room over there. Got a few private booths over there if you want a private word with somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Any chance I can get a word with any of the locals? I'm new around here.
He pauses for a moment. Why, is there anything you need?
I'm just, new to London and was hoping to meet some people.
Well, make a great wingman.
Would you be willing to be a wingman for me?
I can give somebody a drink for you if you like.
That'd be great.
Well, what'll it be? Perhaps more importantly, who?
Huh?
Oh, he says, then what'll it be? And then more importantly, who?
Well, you know the regulars. So how about surprise me? Who do you think I should meet? and make them their favorite drink. I'll pay for whatever it is.
Well, I think I know somebody who can give you the layout of the place.
Fantastic.
As if on cue, a pale-looking woman with very pale blonde hair approaches the bar. She has deep gold eyes, marble white skin. She's quite diminutive. She's probably about as tall as you.
Mm-hmm.
Quite short, but slender. And seems to be wearing a thick black gothic dress.
Ah, goth was the right way to go.
She does stick out a little bit. There aren't that many goths here. Scene's been aging for a couple of decades now.
I mean, that's legit. So Cora will give a warm smile.
She gives off a very intimidating predatory aura.
Yike. So again, like a warm smile, just like trying to smile through the I'm gonna get 8 feelings. And
your beast does seem rather ill at ease around this person.
Good to know. I'll just be like a nice little, non-threatening neonate. Cool. Good evening. My name's Cora, and I'm new to town. I was hoping to meet some people that are local.
New? I would say you've been here long enough to say you're not new. But yes, what is it that you need?
I still feel new. I was just hoping to meet the local people that follow the old ways. Just kind of, among many other things, exploring faith.
Excuse me for saying that I don't think you'll find much faith inside a nightclub. Quite the opposite, I find.
Have I come to the wrong place then? Is there somewhere else that I should go?
No, we can talk. Although, perhaps somewhere more private, yes?
Yeah, I think that'd be preferred.
Excellent. And Mr. Beck, I shall leave this place in your care once more. Please inform me when Rose returns. Don't worry your delightful old head off about it. And she will simply begin walking up a floor to a VIP room, or the VIP room of this club. Just following a stairwell that leads up. It's quite wide.
Mm.
Behind you, you see this person just following you. They give off no predatory aura. Appears to be a member of security staff.
Let's see. What guy?
Pardon?
Oh, okay, I see now. Cool.
Ah, good.
I was like looking in the Discord for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But yeah, you'll make your way to the VIP room. It is, again, a fairly nondescript VIP room with a mini bar, some memorabilia, nothing particularly fancy. Although quieter than the rest of the club. Certainly more secure.
Seems like a better place to talk, at least. Just kind of looks around trepidatiously. Doesn't matter what she says. I still feel like the new kid. She does kind of perk up when Rose is mentioned, though. Like, I heard that name. Uh-huh.
Yes, the prodigal child. Why are you here? Why are you seeking us out? Why are you seeking me out?
Well,
Fledgling.
as I said, it was a couple different reasons. One was my own personal interest in faith. The other was to discuss matters as they stand in the city, because I find them troubling.
We have no interest in the ceaseless conflicts this city deals in every other month.
It's already starting to wear thin for me. I can't even imagine what it's like for those that have been here a while.
You are correct. You have not experienced any real hardship from this war.
I try to be honest. I know it's a weird trait for Kindred, but lying doesn't usually suit the situation. Not the ones I've been in.
But you're not being fully honest with me, are you?
I think I am. I'm here to discuss faith and the conflict happening within the city. I have some messages to impart if you want to hear them, but I don't want to impose on you if you don't.
To think for a moment I would have had to squeeze the truth out of you. You would not go poking around here unless you had a message to send. You are here at the beckoning of another.
It's true they don't let fledglings like me roaming around often, which is why I have to pursue my own interests while pursuing other people's.
Your sire, a woman with a wide-brimmed picture hat. And that dress almost as out of time as my own. At least she has a sense of nostalgia, I suppose.
Her eyes kind of widen at that. Have you met her?
No.
Ah. Then you just know of her, then.
No.
Then may I ask how? I'm curious.
Our ways teach us many things. One of them is to know without knowing.
That's fascinating.
It is our gift.
Because you follow the old ways?
Yes, but what would you know of them?
Nothing. That's why I want to know more.
I'm going to ask you a question out of character real quick.
Okay.
What is Cora's intent in regards to her curiosity surrounding the old ways, as she puts it?
Cora actually is interested in the different faiths right now, as she doesn't have one. She knows her sire follows like the Linkea Sanctum faith, the Longinus stuff, but that doesn't really call to her much. So all she knows of otherwise is the Crone and the cult within her own house. She's actually not being a little shit right now. She's just curious. Like, if she didn't end up Carthian, she might have ended up Crone in another life that she didn't get embraced by someone who wouldn't let her be anything but Invictus. Does that make sense?
That's fair. It is rare to find one looking for faith. Most are quite proud to have none at all. You are a rarity in this age.
Well, I think something needs to start making sense with everything that hasn't made sense in my life so far. Or at least I hope it does.
And what doesn't make sense to you?
How I ended up like this. I mean, I know the logical A led to B led to C, but there's a lot of existential questions I have involved.
Do you yearn for a purpose?
I suppose so, yeah.
But you have found one in your Invictus.
A temporary one. They found that I like to talk to people, and they found that I can talk to people that most in my sect cannot easily. They had me talking to a lot of Carthians in the last domain I lived in. and I got along well with him. So to move from there to here is a bit of a shock, if I'm being quite honest.
She looks you over. And it is a very odd feeling you get from her. It is as if she is less looking at you and more she is looking into you.
Oh boy.
It is difficult to determine why you feel that way.
I don't know if I like it.
Can I ask you another out of character question?
Go for it.
If Cora swore an oath or made a deal, would she ever go back on it?
She kind of has like an old-timey sense of what's this? Let me look at her background real quick, because I'm kind of figuring her out as we play her in a lot of ways. I mean, looking at her backstory, she's like very shady, but she has her own sense of honor. So I don't think she'd like go back on an oath.
Okay.
Especially since she's being prepared to take an oath of fealty, and you take those very seriously. So everything leads to oaths are good. You don't fuck with those.
She looks at you. She gives you a fairly flat smile. And it's strange, even though she's about at your height, it always feels as if she's looking down at you.
Yeah.
You would hold the qualities to go far among us.
I wish I could. I don't think that's a option available to a fledgling like me.
It is always an option.
Last time I tried to spread my wings, it didn't work out too well.
Ah, yes. All alone, starving in the street. With naught but a single woman to offer you her hand.
Cora's gonna just outright shudder at that, because, oh, how did you know?
I've already told you.
Yes, that's fair. It's still unnerving to have others know of such a private struggle and how poorly it ended. But that's how it worked last time.
I will not force you to choose between politics and faith. We eschew such things.
Oh, all good.
I would not break your bond to your sire, for there is an oath there that I would not see broken. She says as her expression changes to one of lethal severity.
What was the last of that, Bishop? Sorry.
She says when she says there is I think she said something along the lines of there is an oath between you and your sire that she would not see broken. And she says, when she says broken, she very much accentuates that word and gives you a look of lethal severity.
Oh boy. I don't break oaths. It was something I didn't really do in life, something I don't do now. Not when our word is basically all we are at times.
That is good. I find a modern age filled with charlatans and fools. That do not understand the value of a given word.
I can see that in a lot of people around me.
You do well to be a part of our clan, as so many of us now often call it.
I definitely would like to know more, if that's all right.
Why simply tell you when I could simply show you?
That would be great, actually.
Should be noted she's been standing in the center of this room the whole time. She hasn't actually moved from that spot.
Okay.
But you noticed blood. Vitae specifically begins to seep from her arms, run down her hands, and drip from her fingertips at a rapid rate.
Oh.
She gives you a smile, bearing her long fangs. And the blood that falls from her fingers forms into a series of bizarre symbols around her. It even makes its way around your shoes and your feet.
Cora's just like wowed by this.
And I'll make a roll. Okay. As the symbols form around her feet, the Vitae actually begins to fade away. sort of almost turning to red ash that floats upwards, red cinder almost. And you feel a sort of slight upwards draft that causes this kindred's hair to float briefly, her eyes to glow more strongly. Her form almost accentuates somewhat, becoming features becoming sharper. When whatever she has done concludes, there is this
Cora just seems to be
sense
like
of
wowed.
more than wow. Do you gain a sense of both? How to say? I'm actually going to look it up so I can sort of describe it to you. You almost feel the endless need to prostrate before her.
Oh. Okay.
There is an overwhelming sense of both fear, but also respect and love.
Huh. I'll go with the feeling. React appropriately.
Probably just end up dropping to your knees.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Shock. She appears almost as if she were a goddess of sorts. Like a predator goddess almost.
Wow.
Her hands are all almost as claws. Her fangs appear longer than other kindreds, but not grotesquely so. They almost serve to enhance the sensation you receive. She appears almost viciously angelic.
Well, that's
She
terrifying.
certainly does not appear human, not really. Something like this could not possibly be human. Only something else, something more, something better.
Something more than a vampire too, or?
I suppose that depends on how Cora decides to interpret her sensations.
That's fair. Kind of like a goddess. Made flesh.
You see this is the power we wield.
It's amazing.
In service and in command of the forces that we know. She just sort of stares at Cora, sort of gauging her response, or if she says anything.
Oh, what was the last thing you said again? Sorry. My brain is smooth.
She just sort of stares at you, like sort of waiting for you to respond. And you get the feeling that when there's that pause, you feel the need that yes, you should definitely respond. Sort of in toe the line mode.
Okay. I've never seen your power demonstrated in person. It's wonderful.
Some think they can emulate our gifts. They are wrong. But it is refreshing to see them respected as they should be.
Cora still hasn't gotten up, by the way.
Pardon?
Cora still has not gotten up, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't respect it? That's what I'm confused about.
We'll come to when I come to rule this domain. You may tell your sire that if you wish.
I will. Oh, right, the message. Do you still wish to hear it?
You may speak.
The message I was to give was that House Valerius wants to put aside the conflict and put us in a more peaceful age. It's what we've been working to do since I've arrived, at least. So if you're
wishes to rule. But it was not they who always used to rule this domain.
No?
It appears your sect and I are at an impasse. For I cannot rule if the Invictus wish to do so in my stead. You are most fortunate to have found me.
I think it was, or perhaps there's some other hand in play tonight that even I'm not aware of. Destiny, maybe, I'd like to think.
Perhaps. But you will serve me in writing this impasse, yes?
I can definitely let them in my house know that there's an impasse. I think that an impasse is better than outright conflict, for certain.
And you will help me in resolving it, yes?
I'd like to do that, yes.
Can you make me a roll real quick?
Sure.
I'm gonna look it up again. So, roll me your resolve plus your blood potency.
Okay. Oof. All right. Zero successes. Giggle.
Okay. You are okay. You are going to gain 1 second. You will gain the dominator condition.
Oh boy.
As she just says, you will help me. Yes?
Mm-hmm. So I'm helping then?
Yep.
Giggle.
You will tell your sire of my intent to claim the Crone and the Praxis. You will tell them I will meet your leaders, this new Stanford, to resolve this impasse. And you will inform them of my right to this domain. Yes.
Yes, I can do that.
Hilarious. I wonder what he is up to now. She looks on with nostalgia, as if she remembers the name quite, well, not fondly per se, but well. As if she knows with a familiarity that you do not possess.
That's intriguing.
You will inform your leaders I will meet with Valerius.
Okay. I'll tell them that. What name should I give them for yourself, my lady?
Simply tell them Morgan has awoken after a very long rest. And that she is here to simply reclaim what was once hers. How fortunate that you found me, of all kindred.
It seems so. I wasn't expecting to be in such exalted company.
Serve me well, and I am sure you will receive such exalted company again.
Thank you. I was telling the truth when I said I was interested in your faith. So to visit again would be lovely.
You possess many of the qualities we would look for in one of the faithful.
And one day maybe that could be an option to me.
Just a quick out of character note,
Yeah.
Cora, is that you don't actually need to be a member of the sect to be a member of the faith.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
Yes. In fact, there's actually a merit for it as well.
Oh, sweet.
It's cool.
So I
It's
could
cool.
being a member of the faith then.
Yes, it is called chorister.
Nice.
It is. You're not a member of the Crone, but you do get a lot of perks of being associated with the Crone.
I'd be down for that. Sweet.
The Sanctified also have a similar merit. It's called laity.
Oh, okay. I've heard of laity.
They're the same thing. Every covenant has a merit where you're basically very intimately or positively affiliated with them, but you're not actually a member of them. So Invictus have one called like One Foot in the Door.
Uh-huh.
So they're respected by the Invictus. They do deals with them, etc., etc. They have connections to the people in power, but aren't necessarily a member of that circle themselves.
That's neat. Okay, cool. Things to put on a goal. Maybe that'll be my new aspiration. Learn more about the Crone.
But when we are done here, you may find me again, and you may join us.
Thank you, Lady Morgan. It was a pleasure to meet you.
I expect you to return.
I will do my best to return.
You will return.
I'll return then. Just like,
Currently, under the dominated condition, I can actually tell what it does because it's basically what she's invoking every time she tells you to do something.
Oh, gotcha. It's not a one and done.
No.
Cool.
In theory, but she has stuff that make it better for her. Remember, I was giving a character command, but they can't go against you. You don't have a choice whether or not to follow the command. Your will is no longer your own. If your task has a natural end, such as follow that man until he enters an apartment, then call me with the address, you resolve the condition once you complete it. Otherwise, it ends at sunrise. Once you resolve this condition, you can't quite remember what happened while you are under the vampire spell.
Okay.
She also has a particular devotion which ignores the limitations of this condition.
Oh, damn.
So in theory, she could get you to just stake yourself.
Damn. Well, okay. She will go and make those calls to her sire to let her know what I need to tell them.
Before you go, Morgan will bid you to kneel and hold out your hands to her.
Okay. Cora will acquiesce.
As she takes one of them, and with her fangs, bites into your wrist and feeds on you.
Oh boy.
It is, needless to say, a very pleasant feeling, but no more than perhaps than whatever Morgan has done has already made you feel tonight. So it's sort of lost in a sort of wave, as it were.
Oh, legit.
Or in the ocean of sensation.
Now Morgan gets to know I'm a juice box.
Mm-hmm.
If she didn't already.
Oh, yeah. You lose 2 blood points.
Okay.
Once she is done, she sends you on your way.
Cool. That could have gone probably a lot worse. Ugh. I will then make the report to Lady Colbert.
Okay. So, you meet your sire again. And she will say, when you meet her back in her room, call gets sent up, you're sent back up to the penthouse suite. She hasn't left it.
Okay.
She seems to be spending her time lounging around and feeding on these mortals that she seems to have gathered for herself.
Oh, nice. So Cora will curtsy again.
She simply allows one of the mortals to lie upon her lap. She has already fed upon them, and you can see the bite mark. Miss Cora, you have returned already.
I have, Lady Colbert.
So soon.
I did some investigating, and I met a member of the Crone named Morgan, who's just woken after a very long rest, and says she's here to reclaim what was once hers. She wants our leadership to know that she will go for the praxis, and wishes to meet. She's going to meet Stanford and Valerius, and wants us to arrange such. Lord Stanford and Lord Valerius, she'll say, because proper invictusing.
The pause is really that long. Do you want to make me a quick wit sympathy check?
Yup. Zero successes.
Big oof.
Right?
Well, you can opt to take a dramatic failure on that for a beat if you so wish.
Sure, because that seems like a funny story.
All right. So she, your sire does seem to recognize the name. But doesn't seem to take it all that seriously. And when she says, well, I'm sure I should arrange that. It does come across as very sarcastic, and you don't think she is giving Morgan the respect that you, in all your heart, believe she is due.
Oh boy.
Do you think you are quite angry at this? This is because you saw her. She was a goddess. She is, in many ways, everything a kindred and Cora would aspire to be.
Yup. So Cora is gonna try to not lose her temper even more, but she's gonna be like, with all due respect, Lady Colbert, Lady Morgan is old and wise, and I think that her meeting with some of her leadership can help with this impasse. She seems to know Lord Valerius as well, so wouldn't it make sense to at least try to arrange the meeting?
Do not tell me how to go about performing my role.
I'm not trying to do that, Lady Colbert. I'm just stating what I've seen.
Think you would have managed to stumble into that kindred? Why did you stay? Are you foolish?
What did you say?
She says, why did you stay? Are you foolish? I did not raise you to be foolish.
I didn't know who she was. She seems very interesting to me.
And what about her makes her interesting, Cora?
That she seems to be like a goddess in flesh, right in front of us, and very wise. Like I said, old, not something I'm used to seeing.
If you wish to worship a kindred, by all means join the cult of Valerius.
I don't know how to articulate it, my lady.
I am disappointed to see that you have been beguiled so easily.
Whatever do you mean?
I expected you to have a far stronger will.
I thought my will was strong enough.
But it appears anyone with a winning smile and a heavenly allure is enough to pull you in. Do I need to write this personally?
Perhaps.
Roll me your resolve plus blood potency again.
Oh boy. One success this time.
Okay. Not enough.
Womp womp.
So now, almost as if to offset what you have felt, everything you have felt towards Morgan, you now feel towards your sire instead.
Oh, okay.
And for the next 4 nights, I'm going to say 4 scenes, you'll have the enthralled condition with your sire.
My poor brain.
Poor Cora.
So she'll just kind of courtesy and be like, I'm sorry, my lady, my temper got the better of me, I believe.
It did. It is a shame. I remember the last time your temper got the better of you, and I found you so alone.
And I'll never forget how kind you were to bring me back in, despite my temper tantrums.
Yes, I was. So why are you still having these temper tantrums, Cora?
I didn't mean to. I just really liked Lady Morgan.
But you
Oh,
did.
I'm so sorry.
You chose her over me, Cora. That upsets me deeply.
What can I do to make it up to you?
She simply cuts open her wrist and pours into an empty glass. Prove to me your loyalty to me.
No. Okay. And she'll like pick up the goblet and like just drink it.
It's difficult not to down it. Kindred Vitae is actually incredibly addictive.
Cool, I'll just down it then. Delicious.
Yeah. And do you know what I love about drinking Kindred Vitae?
What?
The Vitae addiction rules.
Oh boy.
So roll me resolve plus composure minus 2 dice.
I feel like that's something else I'm not good at.
You can always spend a willpower to gain free dice to any check you make.
All right, I'll spend
Literally
willpower.
any check.
Oh, good to know. I'll spend
Yes.
willpower.
And free dice generally puts you in the range of at least one success on its own. So
4 dice. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so that gives me 7 dice. He said -4, so that's 3.
Yep.
1
You
success.
succeed.
Yay.
So her Vitae is actually invigorating as well. You regain the willpower you spent back
Oh, nice.
by drinking her Vitae. It is not just addictive, but mentally fulfilling. As if you have a new zest for life.
Ooh. Excellent.
But you are now a step bound to your sire.
Sadness.
Well, 2 steps bound, because I think you start a step bound.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Some oaths, dear Cora, are rewards. Others are punishments. She looks to the glass you drank from. This was a punishment.
I'm
For your
sorry.
own foolishness.
I'll try to make you proud next time.
You will? You have damaged my trust in you, Cora. How can I be certain?
I'll just try harder. I really don't know what happened.
You are not already trying your hardest, Cora?
I thought I was, but clearly if my mind is so easily controllable, then I have defects that I need to work on.
Why are you so easily controlled, Cora? I didn't raise you to be so easily controlled.
I don't know. I thought I was stronger than that. This night has proven me wrong on that front.
How's Cora feeling right now?
Pretty fucking awful.
She's sad.
Like a kicked puppy. I kicked little Vulpix. Like, my trainer's mad at me.
Is she weeping?
Probably.
Perhaps this is my fault. Perhaps I have not taught you rigorously enough.
Oh, no, it isn't you. If anything, it's the au pair I had. She's always been trouble. She always caused problems for me, remember?
Yes, she did. She did. What are you going to do about that, Cora?
I'm just gonna bide my time and get revenge at some point, but I don't know what the proper thing to do is. And what if she's a bad au pair to others?
Well, then clearly you must right that wrong. You must prevent such things, no?
That's true.
Remain with me. I will teach you how to not be so easily controlled.
Of course, whatever you want.
Perhaps I am being too harsh on you, she says after a moment's consideration. I suppose you have done what I have asked of you.
I did, but I didn't have any right to come and make demands like that. It was very inappropriate.
It was wildly inappropriate. It's a shame. You have served loyally. You have been a good child. It is like fire that licks at my skin when I see you act so out of sorts.
I truly don't know what came over me. Normally I very much enjoy our visits.
It's quite all right. It is quite all right. Imagine from one you really don't think it's quite all right. Like, I'm pretty sure she's still furious with you and is just hiding it because she's so nice.
She's the nicest.
She's just trying to help you until you are pushing her away.
God. She's so fucking evil. Just like
Right,
fucking textbook. So, of course, since enthralled, Cora is going to just be like, I'll do whatever it takes. Like, let me train my will up,
Just sort of like weeping on the floor. Just no.
Yeah. No, I'm so sorry. That wasn't like me. Giggle.
Oh dear. It's okay, Cora. I will look into this, Morgan, on your behalf.
Thank you, my lady.
And if she does know if he's kindred, then perhaps I should ask my lord directly.
Perhaps. Is there anything you need from me this evening?
I would wish for you to stay with me for the next few nights.
I can do that. So, what happens with the compulsion to return now that like I'm enthralled to my sire? Do I still have it?
Yeah, it's going to last for 4 scenes. So what enthrallment does, in order to even take an action against him, you need to spend a willpower for any action.
Okay.
Doing so is an immediate breaking point at Humanity 1. And if you fail the check, you you not only lose a humanity, but you also chicken out of actually going against them. In regards to the actions you'll take, you'll do essentially anything for them, even putting yourself in serious harm's way. Although if you take more lethal damage than your stamina, it will snap you out of the enthrallment.
Okay.
But anything else you will do.
Cool. Sorry, we'll stay with her then.
And in addition to that, you are now 2 points bound to her as well.
Excellent. Well, not so excellent, but you know.
And to just tell you what that does, that basically she gains 2 dice on any social action or discipline roll against you, and causing indirect or direct harm to her is a breaking point for your Humanity 3.
Oof. Good to know.
The penalty for doing so is also -3 dice.
Yikes.
So it is an extremely painful thing to even consider.
Gotcha. It's okay. I don't want to do anything against her right now. It's fine.
Pretty much. But she will have you stay at the Golden Bluff Hotel. She sets you up in the most beautiful of rooms. And there is always a thrall on standby for you should you need to feed.
Excellent. Feeling a little
almost she appears to have placed you back in a gilded cage of sorts.
Sigh. Welp.
But I think with your report delivered and your commands complete on both sides of the aisle, I think that would be a good place to end the scene. Is you're placed within the Golden Bluff Hotel for truly as long as your sire wishes it.
Sounds good. Thanks for running. That was fun.
Thank you. I'll end the broadcast. Thank you, personal playing. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.